Hello, and welcome to yet another lecture on our generation and economics. Myself, Prathita Roy, Assistant Professor of Dr. Sudhir Degree Engineering College, Electrical Engineering Department. So we have already learned that what is tariff. So tariff is generally known to us is the rate at which the electrical energy is supplied to a consumer is known as tariff. So we also learned that why tariff is required. Tariff is required because the companies, those who supply the electrical energy, they have some fixed and the running costs, the maintenance costs, the cost for their personnel, also the maintenance cost, those rates are also taken into account and that can be classified into fixed and running cost and allocate some reasonable profit. So summing all those costs and the reasonable profit they are supplied at a particular rate to the consumers so that uh, the energy that is produced and transmitted are also sold. So you also know the objective of a tariff. And also the characteristics of a tariff is also known to us. That those are the proper returns, fairness, simplicity, reasonable profit, and attractiveness of the tariff that attract the consumers in order to pay towards the company. And it is given that the reasonable profit that can be earned by a company is 80% or so per annum. And there is a fairness and the simplicity is there. Means a person who consume more low have to pay less, and the person who consume low have to pay more. There's a simplest fairness and a simple way that is designed so that it cannot create any complexity between the consumers and also proper return from the consumers. Now today we will discuss about the different types of tariffs. So mainly we will focus on the simple tariff or the called the uniform rate tariff, the flat rate tariff, the block rate tariff, and the two-part tariff. So let's concentrate on different types of tariffs. So tariffs can be classified into categories like simple tariff, flat rate tariff, block rate tariff, two-part tariff, maximum demand tariff, power factor tariff, and three-part tariff. So today our main focus will be concentrated on the simple tariff or called the uniform rate tariff, on flat rate tariff, on block rate tariff, and the two-part tariff. So let's start with the simple tariff or called the uniform rate tariff. So what is simple tariff? The simple tariff is known as when there is a fixed rate per unit of energy consumed is called the simple tariff or uniform tariff. Means how much energy you will consume will have a fixed rate. This is known as simple tariff or uniform rate tariff. The rate is uniform irrespective of how much energy you consume. So it is the simplest tariff method and it is readily understood by the consumer. It's the easiest calculation. But in this type of tariff, the price charged per unit is constant. That is, it doesn't vary with the increase or decrease in the number of unit consumed and it will remain constant. It doesn't vary with the amount of energy you will consume. The consumption of the electrical energy at the consumer's terminal is recorded by a means of energy meter. So energy meter is there in the consumer terminal, which generally used to read out or record the amount of energy that a consumer is consuming. So this is the simplest of all tariffs and it is readily understood by the consumer. Consumer can easily understood that this is our meter reading and this is the price. So we have to multiply it and we have to pay to the electric supply. But the problem arises that there are two types of consumer. One consumer that consume more amount of power. So when I have told during the characteristics of a tariff is that the consumption of the Fairness. The fairness conception will come into the play. The fairness conception says that if you are a consumer and you consume more amount of energy, so you have to pay less. And say one person who is consuming less amount of energy, you have to pay more. This is the fairness characteristics of the tariff. Yes, it is simple, but it does the fairness characteristics here. It is not properly describe the fairness characteristics because there is no the disadvantage said that there is no discrimination between the consumers. Means the different types of consumers there is no discrimination because each consumer have to pay with a fixed rate. The fixed rate is that the total cost of the electrical energy consists of fixed charges and the running charges. The greater the number of the unit consumed, the lesser is the fixed charge per unit. Means if I consume more energy, more unit, I have to give less fixed charges. Therefore, a consumer who consumes more units must pay the less fixed charges per unit. But the discrimination is there. The rate is simple tariff or the rate is uniform tariff. Simple tariff or the uniform tariff. The cost per unit delivery is high. It is very high for the cost per unit delivery because there is one single cost, means one single cost per unit delivery is there, and it doesn't encourage the use of electricity. Means, say I am a large consumer and I have to pay the same rate as a consumer who consumes less amount of energy. It will not encourage me to use the more amount of energy. So this is a known as simple tariff or a uniform tariff. So in order to overcome these barriers, a fixed rate or a uniform rate, another conception is introduced is called the flat rate tariff. So the flat rate tariff is that when the different types of consumers are charged at different uniform per unit rate is called the flat rate tariff. Means the different consumers depending upon the amount of energy he or she is consuming, he have to pay for that. If he have to pay for that particular energy that he or she is consuming. So in this type of tariff, the consumers are grouped into different classes. So the problem that the barrier that was there in the uniform rate tariff, which can be overcome by the flat rate tariff. So consumers are grouped into different classes and each classes of the consumers is charged at a different uniform rate. For instance, the flat rate per kilowatt hour of a lightning load may be 60 paisa, whereas with a slightly less load is the 55 paisa for the power load. For lightning load is 60 paisa, for power load it is 55 paisa. So a question will arise that what is the power load? The power load is that a part of the output of an electrical power plant used for the operations of motor or other heating device is known as power load. So means it have to run the electric motor or the heating device. So that power load is charged at 55 paisa per unit, where the lighting load is charged at 60 paisa per unit. The different class of consumers are made taking into the account their diversities and the load factors. The advantage of such tariff is that it is more fair to difficult types of consumers and it is quite simple in the calculation process. So the different types of consumers, different amount of units each consumed will also came into the account in order to design this flat rate tariff and also to overcome the conception of uniform rate tariff or known as the simple tariff. So there is some disadvantages in that since the flat rate tariff varies according to the way the supply is used. So the separate meters are required for light and the power load. So this means the application of such tariff is expensive and complicated. So different types of meters are required in order to find the which is the light load and which is the power load. So that is make The installation process is much more expensive and also a complicated process. Say particular class of consumers are charged at the same rate irrespective of the magnitude of the energy consumed. Yes, they are classified into the two classes, but a particular class of consumers is charged at the same rate irrespective of the magnitude of the energy is consumed. Because I have classified as a power load consumer and another one is classified as a light load consumer. Amount of energy he or consume, he is charged, he or she will be charged at a particular rate. This is a most disadvantage of this type of tariff. However, a big consumer should be charged at a lower rate as in his case the fixed charges per unit are reduced. So, irrespective of the consumers, it is create a class of consumers and those class of consumers, even if the if there is a variation in the load used by that class of consumers, but he or she have to pay for a particular tariff rate for that if we are using the conception of the flat rate tariff. So this is one of the another disadvantage of the flat rate tariff. So in order to overcome this, another conception is formed is called the block rate tariff. So block rate tariff is given that when a given block of energy is charged at a specified rate and the success block of energy are charged at progressively reduced rate, it is called the block rate tariff. Means a block of energy is charged some rate, say rate A, and now if from after that it is progressively reduced, so it is generally known as the block rate tariff conception. So in the block rate tariff, the energy consumption is divided into the blocks and the price per unit is fixed in each block. Okay. The price per unit in the first block is the highest. Okay, because why it is highest? Because the fixed charges are merged into the running charges for the first and the second blocks, and energy so per price per unit of this block is high because so there are different types of blocks are created. So first block having highest charge because the fixed and the running charges are also accounted in this first block, and gradually it is decreasing and progressively reduce the success block of energy. For example, if I consider an example that the first 30 units will be charged at the rate of 60 paisa per unit, next 25 units will be charged at 55 paisa per unit. So if I take for the block rate tariff, the block rate for the block rate, so if we can able to understand the block rate tariff conception said that say the first block, so the first block means the first 30 units. So I am writing at units and I have written the charge. So you can easily able to understand the example what is the conception of the block rate tariff is that first unit, so first 30 units has been charged at a rate of say 60 paisa charging paisa. Where is that paisa? Right, unit. Okay. So first is 30 amount, 30 units is charges 60 paisa per unit. Now next 25 amounts that I have told that the block is there, it is highest because first unit must be considered the fixed and the running cost and it is charged at 55 paisa per unit. It is progressively decreasing. Now and the rest will be charged at the rest amount of unit that they are collected. I have given an example. Is the rest that is given is the 30 paisa per unit. So a consumer has consumed the 60 unit. So first 30 unit we have to pay for the 60 paisa per unit. Second, from 31 to 55 unit, that is the second 25 units, he or she have to pay the 55 paisa per unit, and raise the 5 units, he and she have to pay the 30 paisa per unit. This is the basic of the block rate tariff. This is the basic of the block rate tariff. So, what is the advantage? The advantage is that consumer gets an incentive to consume more energy. It will encourage, it will make the tariff, design of the tariff is more attractive. So the consumer gets an incentive to consume more energy. It increases the load factor, so the cost of generation is reduced. If the load factor is increased, the cost of generation is also reduced. So what is the disadvantage of that tariff? The disadvantage is that it lacks a measure of consumer demands. Means that I have told that I have elaborated those advantages and disadvantages in such a way that the advantages of such tariff is that the consumers get an incentive to consume more electric energy. The increase the if they consume more electric energy, which in turn increase the load factor of the system, and hence the cost of generation is reduced. However, its principal defect is that the defect is that the lack of measure of the consumer demands. This type of tariff is being used for majority of this residential and the small commercial consumers. Generally use the residential and the small commercial consumers. So this is the major drawbacks of that tariff. So in order to overcome this, another tariff is come into the play is called the two-part tariff. Two-part tariff says that when the rate of electrical energy is charged on the basis of maximum demand of the consumer and the units consumed, it's called the two-part tariff. So there are two parts. One is the maximum demand part. For that we have to pay the charge, and another is the amount of energy consumed. So the maximum demand of a consumer is generally assessed on the basis of rateable value of the premises or the number of rooms or the connected rooms. How many rooms are connected? How many rooms are there? How many? What is the premises that energy consumes, and what is the number of connected rooms? In that way, the maximum demand consumer can be determined. So, in two-part tariffs, the total charges to be made from the consumers is split into the two components that I have said. One is the fixed charges, and there is the running charges. The fixed charges that is depend on the maximum demand. Maximum demand that I have told that how many rooms are connected, how many rooms, the number of rooms are there, how many loads are connected, and what is the retail value of the premises. The maximum demand in kilowatt. The running cost depend on the number of units consumed by the consumers in kilowatt hour. So total charges can be written as E into kilowatt plus C into kilowatt hour. So that means that the consumer is charged at a certain amount per kilowatt of maximum demand plus a certain amount per kilowatt hour is the energy consumed by the consumers. So we can write in that particular way that two per tariff can be as per the two parts, the total charges can be classified. The total charges can be written as rupees V into kilowatt plus C into kilowatt. So where D is the charge per kilowatt of the maximum demand and C is the charge per kilowatt of energy consumed. So this type of tariff is generally applicable to the industrial consumers who have appreciable maximum demand. So what are the advantages of two-part tariff? Advantages are it is easily understood by the consumers. And also it recovers the fixed charges which depends upon the maximum demand. The fixed charges which that can be recovered because fixed charges are totally depend upon the maximum demand. But the disadvantages are that the consumers has to pay the fixed charges irrespective of the fact whether they have consumed or not, they have to pay that because it depends upon the maximum demand, whether they are consumed or not. And the second one is there is always an error in assessing the maximum demand of the consumer. Always there will be an error of the assessing the maximum demand of the consumer. So this is the advantages and the disadvantages of the two-part tariff. So today we have done the different types of tariff. Basically, we have concentrated on the simple tariff or uniform rate tariff, flat rate tariff, block rate tariff, and two-part tariff about the advantages and the disadvantages and the calculation how we can able to pay for the energy that we have consumed depending upon the different types of tariffs.